a lot cheaper. The question is the quality there. Well, absolutely not. I mean,
get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. So I thought it was particularly interesting that the guys on the horse were doing a quality comparison between a Road Max 6-speed. Road Max is, Taiwan at its finest, man.
Oh, boy.
It's like Road Max and DMC or what's that other stuff?
I don't know.
All these things. They're all the same stuff. They all come from the same place. They got a little different brand name stamped on them. But essentially, it's a 6-speed transmission you get for about $450. Now, that's a smoking deal. And I should know because I bought one. Well, here was the deal. The last bike I built the Harley transmission and put it in there. It was a lot of work, but I really enjoyed the job, and I got a great transmission out of the deal. This, I wanted to have a transmission that matched the engine. So I made a smoking deal on this engine and got the transmission along with it, too. I ended up spending about $450 on the transmission. Now, you know that there's nowhere in America that can sell a 6-speed transmission for $450. There's just too much freaking metal in the thing, There's
not
too much
unless
work.
it's detonated.
Yeah, exactly. So they're doing a comparison here between the Road Max 6-speed and the Baker 6-speed. Now, Baker,
You didn't get any better than that.
you don't get any better than Baker. But you don't pay any more either. You're
That's
talking
right.
$3,000, $2,800. Now, there's nothing I would rather have in my bike. Nothing I'd rather have. The guys at Baker, pay attention to this. There's nothing I'd rather have than one of those way cool Baker Kickstart 5 speeds that they make now.
6.
They make a 6 that's a kicker. They make a 4.5 that's a kicker too. But they make a 6 that fits in the old 4-speed frames with a kicker, and that's the one I want. That's the one everybody wants because it's about $3,000. Beautiful piece of work. You can put it on a pedestal and look at it. It's such a fine piece of machine work. That's what they're talking about here.
All the folks at Baker Drivetrain, you can address the check to Warren at KickStartTV.
I really wish I was getting paid by those guys because I love their stuff. But anyway, what these guys have done is they've taken a real practical approach. If you look at this article, this isn't about Korea versus America. What they've done here, zoom in a little bit on this page right here, and take a look at this diagram right here. What they're doing is that they're talking about, get that diagram, they're talking about how the gears actually function.
How they're cut.
How they're cut.
How they mesh.
How they mesh, what the quality of the cut is, what the surface area is that's covered. Now, for most normal human beings, this is incredibly boring stuff. But for us guys who are putting our lives on that 6-speed gear as it wings down the highway at 85 miles an hour, how those gear mesh means a lot to me, and it means a lot to people that are riding on the back of my bike and my loved ones, because if that thing spins out of control, well, so do I. And I'm not enjoying that. Okay, come back up here. But the deal is this. What these guys have done is they've taken this very practical approach to this thing and said, we're not going to get into USA versus Korea. We're just going to compare the two products.
That's right.
We're just going to flat out do a comparison.
That's all it's about.
And they did. And, the results, well,
there is no comparison.
There's no comparison, basically.
I read the piece.
Did you read that last line? Because I want to do that. I know this is going to take a second, and it's not very TV-ish, but, we're kind of like a radio show and a TV show and everything all at the same time. But I read this last line. The Road Max scored less than the Baker in every measured attribute. From this, it's easy to conclude that the Road Max will be a noisier transmission and will be susceptible to durability problems related to overall strength and long-term service life. Worth noting here is the AGMA attributes on the Road Max 6th gear pair, which were borderline commercial. The table above just shows the averages. Those values were significantly less than the average, which is not good, considering a lot of time is usually spent in 6th gear going down the highway. So, that's some scary stuff when I think about that 6-speed I just put in that bike.
Absolutely.
And it kind of makes me go, for maybe what I ought to do is like put this in there and ride it around for a little while. But at the first time I get a lottery ticket hit or something good happens, to go out and get those Baker gears.
Absolutely.
At least.
What is your life worth?
Yeah, and you think about it and you go, wow, I got a great deal on this transmission. Somebody else paid $3,000 and I'm only paying $400 or something. But when you read an article like this, it just goes, man, well, you're just really seriously getting what you pay for. So anyway.
Well, if you just look at those 2 4th gears there. Look at those. The difference in the two is, it's obvious. You don't even have to tell anybody which one is the Korean gear, which one is the Baker.
Yeah.
It's very simple to see. The machining is second rate all the way around. It's easy to see. So the end of the story is you're talking about a transmission, you're talking about your running gear, which affects the whole motorcycle and is in control of your life as Warren said, at 80 miles an hour, if you launch a drive gear in that transmission, you're in big trouble. So
it kind of makes me think maybe when I get the bike put together, I'll ride around on that thing for a little while, and then before I do any serious stuff with it, I'll pull that tranny and try to get a Baker in there.
Now, let's not give anybody the wrong impression. I'm not here to pimp the Baker.
Hey, we got some kind of feed coming back through here, guys, in our headphones. You might want to not do that right this moment. Thank you. You were saying
really not trying to drive. No pun intended. Really not trying to push the Baker drivetrain brand name.
Right.
However, they are basically recognized as the industry standard.
Yeah.
But what we are saying, there's a whole lot of others out there that are fine transmissions.
Yes, that's true.
Good gear cuts, everything that works really well in them. And, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with good old Harley Davidson either.
Yeah.
But steer clear of the $50 transmission. And that's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
But we're saying that because, ladies and gentlemen, it does. You got your life in your hands with that. So you want the best you can possibly put on that motorcycle.
It's funny because I saw a Korean-made chopper frame that I think it was for sale on eBay, real cheap. It was $395 for a single down tube chopper frame. I was like, wow, that's really cheap. Let's take a look at this. Well, you could see, normally there's a trans plate and then there's like a piece of metal that's like at an angle like this. Sure. They've taken this piece of shitty sheet metal and bent it over like that. Right. So your transmission was sitting its full weight on a bent piece of metal. Yeah. And that's what was holding it in place. I was like, yeah, man, that's going to last for about 2 minutes,
And were the down tubes made of electrical conduit?
I don't know what they were made of, man, but it wasn't good stuff. And you could look at it and see that the quality wasn't there. Now, I'm not dissing all Japanese or Oriental stuff that's coming over. I mean, I like the Ultima motor. I got it. I looked at it. I put my nose up and down that bike, and I got a lot of nose to do that with. And boy, I tell you what, man, there was nothing funky about that deal at all.
Well, Pee-wee's running an Ultima motor, and we're going to get the report from him for sure.
I think that's real important in the as the show progresses. We need to look at some of these things like the length of the lifespan of the Ultima motor. Sure. Has it delivered? I mean, get Pee-wee in here 2 years from now and go, Pee-wee, you put the Ultima, you went for an Oriental motor. Are you happy with it? Did it do what you wanted it to do? Because if it did, then, there you go, Sure. I mean, I know that the cases are made in the United States, and somehow that's supposed to make me feel better about it, but I don't know if it will.
Well, speaking of looking at stuff.
What
did we spend all day?
Oh, man, we got to have some fun this weekend. We were down at the show, the big bike show. Now, there's a name for this.
It's the Colorado Motorcycle Show and Swap Meet.
The Colorado Motorcycle Show and Swap Meet that's put on by Pro Promotions, a great group of guys. They've been putting on shows in the Denver area for as long as I can remember, and they put on some of the best run shows. Good stuff, man.
It's a good show, but I gotta make a quick statement here about the show.
Go ahead.
And the folks that put it on. Jack Portis.
Yeah.
There is no future for you in radio, brother. I got news for you. Give that microphone to somebody else and let them make the announcements because you suck at it.
What did he do? What did he do?
It's the same deal every year. This obnoxious thing. You want me to show you what he did?
Yeah, show me what he did.
Welcome to the Colorado Motorcycle Show and Swap. We're going to be here until 7 o'clock. I am not kidding you. Takes a microphone, sticks it down, and screams.
There's so many times, and we've talked about this before, too. You go to the Rat's Hole. You used to go to the Rat's Hole Chopper Show at Sturgis, and they used to have it in Wodell Park. You could hang out in the park. Birds were singing, and they had a little band playing. It was all really nice.
Shitting on your bike.
Birds shitting on your bike. And then now you go there, and they got this giant PA system. The guys going, and don't forget the wet T-shirt underwear contest is going on under 10.5. And don't forget that you can go over there and dunk your head in the titty bar beer. And don't forget that they won't frickin' stop talking.
Now let me make a statement about this wet T-shirt contest bullshit.
Yeah.
I love them.
You know what?
Well, wait. Let me finish. You're jumping the gun on me. You know why I love them?
No,
because it takes all those idiots away from the bikes,
right?
Puts them over there where these bimbos are,
right?
And lets me get a good look at the bikes because I could give a rat's ass about these bimbos over here, or these floppy ass tits, or
Well, they're human made. They're sort of like
Well, whatever. We don't need
Godzilla
that kind of crap. But
yeah, I know.
Anyway, let's see what happened at the show.
Do you want to talk? You want to talk about it anymore? You just want to show it to them? Yeah, let's show it to him. Okay, here's the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, roll tape.
Roll the stuff. Bye-bye.